everybody, this is Hornlitz here, and welcome to Let's Glitch The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Welcome back for more Let's Glitch The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. In the last episode, we started the adventure and got some stuff in Orden, and then went over to Faron Woods and rescued Talo, and then had all of the kids get kidnapped by some evil people, and then we went and did castle sewers and rooftops. Anyways, now we're here, and in this episode we are going to be getting the Sword and Shield from Orden Village, which is what Midna's about to tell me to do here, and then I'm going to go and start Faron Twilight. Now, right off the bat, we're just going to go and get sidetracked right away. So, right off the bat here, I'm going to be doing a glitch. This is the second glitch that I mentioned you needed to do an all wooden sword run, basically. And this glitch is called Sword and Shield Skip. So the reason it's called that is because basically it lets you skip getting the sword and shield from Orden. But, I mean, as you can see here, there's a trigger. I'm in a trigger, and she basically stops you and tells you to go back and get a sword and a shield. Which is all fine and dandy and everything. It just means we're supposed to go and, grab the stuff and do plot like normal. But there's a way to get past it. So this trigger is actually pretty big. There's no way you can jump attack past the entire trigger or whatever, but luckily enough for us, the trigger that lets you into the Twilight is still there. It's just a ways in, and you can't really get to it normally. Now, it's also important to distinguish two different things. This text trigger right here is what's known as a ground trigger. So it will only trigger if we're on the ground. So as you can see, if I try doing a jump attack into it, it will only trigger as soon as I land. That's important. The other trigger, the trigger that lets me through, it's actually a cutscene trigger. It's classified as an air trigger, so it will work whether or not I'm on ground or in the air. So basically the idea behind this trick is to jump over this trigger, this first text trigger, and land in the cutscene trigger, which is an air trigger, before we hit the ground. We can't do that normally, but fortunately we have something at our disposal, which I'll get to in a second. But first I just want to sort of define where the triggers are. So this little black line, it's a little bit hard to see. That is where the trigger starts, at least in this corner. It's a bit oval-shaped, so it actually comes out a little more, so I already hit it right there. Actually, that's a lot further back than I thought it was, but yeah. So it's a little bit oval-shaped, but on this side, it's like you can get about this close without triggering it, and that's important. Yeah, see right there, I hit it just by trying to turn around. So yeah. But anyways, the thing that we have at our disposal to let us get past this trigger is actually all the way back at the beginning. It's not another rock, not like the gate clip. No, of course not. There's actually an enemy right here. This guy. We like to call him Hugo. This guy is annoying. So basically, what we need to do is we need to lure him to the other side. Thank goodness it's not as annoying as the Bokoblin pushing from last episode. But yeah, it's basically, we need to push him into the trigger and then do a couple of precise jump attacks on him to get a huge jump attack over the text trigger and into the cutscene trigger. So I'm going to focus for a little bit because this is actually one of the hardest tricks in the game. So let me try and do this. There are a few visual cues I use, which I'm not actually going to explain what the visual cues are. There are good tutorial videos for this trick, so I will link those in the description. But let me just focus on getting this real quick. Okay, right there, I got it. So that is the trick. And Midna says, hey look, this is the Faron Woods that they're now covered in Twilight. Now, because this isn't a 100% speedrun, if I say yes here, I actually completely screw myself out of being able to finish in 100% because I can't get the Orden Sword. That's the only thing that matters. So I have to say no here. Also, this Bokoblin likes moving around. But yeah, and then we just kind of walk backwards, and then as you can see, the trigger is still here, so I run into it, and then I can go this way, and then I go this way again. But yeah, so that is Sword and Shield Skip. Basically, it's a really hard trick. You really need to know how everything works, and believe me, if you can't get that trick, do not feel bad. It takes everybody a long time to get it for the first time. But yeah, as I mentioned, I'm not going to spend a huge amount of time explaining like visual cues or how it works, because there are already tutorial videos that do that, and believe me, they do a better job than I would. But yeah, like, I know what to look for, but it's still kind of hard to explain, and it would also take me forever. Like, I don't want this whole video to be just me explaining Sword and Shield skips. So yeah, if you want to know how to do the glitch more, go and watch those videos. But I at least explained how the glitch works, which is fantastic. Alright, so now right here we have to get the Sword and Shield. So right here, these guys are talking about the shield. So we just kind of need to sneak up on them, and then listen to them, and then they'll talk about it, and then they'll notice you. I don't know how they noticed me. They kind of just turned around, and I was in the grass. Like, I can hardly see myself there. But anyways. Oh, and then also the cutscene just warps me out there randomly. But whatever. Anyways, now after that, we have this guy who starts throwing a hawk at us, which isn't always really nice. But anyways, I want to show a bit of a thing right here. So right here, you can use the mid jump attack thing to get on top of the roof, which is what you're supposed to do. But if you lure the cat away, because the cat actually gets in the way, you can actually do a jump attack here, or not a jump attack, sorry, a dash off of the ledge, and you can actually grab onto the ledge. It's a little bit finicky, and it's like, it is faster, but it doesn't usually end up being worth it. Yeah, so like, it's annoying, but you can do it. It's just, yeah, it's annoying. So yeah, now right here, you also can kind of just jump into the cutscene trigger. You don't actually need to jump on the first platform there, which is interesting. Get up here. And then you can just do the mid jump there and get off. Alright, so now this is where the shield is. Now this is actually really annoying. Right here, so you get onto this this thing right here. You have to move forward a little bit to actually get the Amanda thing to start, but then once the Amanda thing actually happens, if you press A, sometimes you don't actually jump up. Like, I'll try and show it off right here. Like, okay, it's being nice. I guess if you're standing even just a little bit too far forward, you'll fall off like that. And it's just really annoying. You need to basically be standing as far back as you possibly can be to actually get up. Which is really, really stupid, but yeah, that's just how it is. But with that, we have the Orden Shield, which is fantastic. Hopefully this doesn't burn. That is one risk of 100% speedruns or playthroughs or whatever, is that if you want to keep the Orden Shield, like, it can burn, and like, especially in the speedrun, you don't actually have the Hylian Shield until after you've done Goron Mines, I think, or at least you haven't equipped it by then. So it's like, it's really annoying, and sometimes you can burn it, and that just wastes a lot of time. I know my first actual 100% speedrun I did of this game, that happened, so it wasted a lot of time. But yeah. So anyways, with that, we can just, we can dig into the side of this house here, and then we can pick up the sword here on the couch and get on our way. So yeah, with that, the wooden sword got overwritten. I can even show it to you here. We don't have the wooden sword anymore. So with that, our wooden sword run is dead. But yeah, if you do the sword and shield skip trick, you can keep the wooden sword throughout the entire game, which is pretty interesting. It's actually kind of funny because, like, the way that the plot of this game starts is that you are supposed to be delivering the Orden sword to Hyrule Castle. But you can end up beating the game without ever even touching the Orden sword, which is kind of funny. But anyways, so with that all done, we can just head out this way. Oh, one other dumb thing that I didn't mention about Sword and Shield skip is that Hugo, if you do a jump attack on him, wait for him to get up, and then do another jump attack on him, he will die. So he's dead now. And so the way that the trick works is you actually need him to be alive in mid-air after you've jump attacked him in order for it to actually work. So basically, you only have one shot at the trick. You can go, like, right after you've done a jump attack and killed him, you can go and void out off the bridge, and then and then his health resets. But that wastes a lot of time. Like, it wastes a good minute to do that. So it's a really annoying trick. I mean, you can get consistent at the trick, but it's a hard trick. So yeah, it's definitely the bane of all speedrunners who start, or all people who start this game. That's like the first real roadblock. But anyways, so now that we're done that, and we have our sword and shield, we can head out into the Faron Woods, and we don't have to worry about the text trigger now that we actually have the the Orden Sword and Shield, so as you can see, we can just kind of pass right through and head into Farron Twilight. So that's fantastic. Now, Twilights are annoying. This is pretty much everybody's least favorite parts of the casual game, and honestly, in the speedrun, they aren't any better. They're just, like, you basically just have to do it casually, and it's really annoying, but we still gotta do them. So, yeah, I'll be doing them, but I'll be doing them fast, so that's nice. Now, right here, I want to point something out. This cutscene, you can't skip it. The only kinds of cutscenes that you can't really skip in this game are, like, really plot-related cutscenes. So, like, the Master Sword cutscene, or right at the end of the game, there's, like, the Squid Midna cutscene, or whatever you want to call it, cutscene. Those cutscenes you can't skip, and boss death cutscenes you can't skip. I don't know why you can't skip that cutscene. There is nothing significant about that one cutscene right at the start there, so it's a little weird, but anyways. So this right here is actually a requirement to beating the game. That gives you the Midna charge. You actually cannot use this Midna charge attack before you talk to Midna there, right in that instance. And yeah, you actually need the Midna charge to be able to beat the game. So that's something. It's also, I guess, it probably would count as a, it would count towards 100%, but anyways. So yeah, now right here, we just gotta go and actually start the annoying parts of the Twilight, which is getting all of the bugs of in the Twilight. Twilight Princess HD made this so much better, but I still don't like it. But yeah, so basically you just have to collect all of these, like all of these are little bugs and you have to kill them, and then they drop tears of light and you have to collect them and everything, and it's just, it's annoying and it's a big hassle, but whatever. Right off the bat here, we have two bugs right here. If I get this right, if I angle it right, yeah, right there, you can actually kill both of them in one B attack, and it's really nice and fast. I'm going to be leaving them behind, though, because spoilers for, like, 10 minutes from now. Not actually, but yeah. Basically, I'm not going to be... Can you kill this? Can you lock on, please? Okay, look, as much as I love this space, I don't want to be that close to it. Okay. Anyways, but yeah, basically, I'm going to be leaving those Tears of Light for now. I will be coming back through the area later, and I will be grabbing them, but I don't exactly want to spoil what that exactly means quite yet. So, anyways. But these ones, because these ones are out of the way, I'm still going to be grabbing them. Now, right here, I just want to point out something. If you charge it, B-attack these things, and then cancel the, like, unsense right before you release the B-attack, you can actually kill them while being in... not in sense form, and you might think, well, what's the point in that? Well, actually, if I sense again, this cutscene starts. So basically what that does is that skips the cutscene there. So there's just a small little cutscene skip. It saves a second or two or something. It's just a minor little thing, but it's cool nonetheless. So now let's just jump down here and continue on our way. Now right here, there are a couple more bugs right here. I will, again, also be skipping these tiers because this is kind of along the path that I need to take. Ooh, I killed both in one shot. That actually doesn't happen very often. Anyways, you also, if you're ever, like, killing a bug and you need to leave an area immediately after and leave the tier behind, which happens a lot in this Twilight, you want to wait for the tier to actually appear. Or actually, I guess, another instance, if you were trying to warp somewhere or leave a room just in general, when you're trying to collect a tier, you need to actually make sure the tier touches you, or like the light things touch you. Otherwise, you won't actually keep the tier before you've actually left the room. So it's really annoying. But anyways, so now that that's all done, we leave those two tiers as well because again they're on the way. But these ones, the three that are in here, actually are not along the way, which is a little interesting. But yeah, so I'll be collecting these three tiers. Now, you actually have to wait for these tiers to become tangible, which is really stupid. They fixed that in Twilight Princess HD. You can just collect them immediately as soon as the bugs explode, which is really nice. But yeah, unfortunately, the standard definition version does not allow for that. And then we're just going to jump across here. And now there are two bugs that are coming up. Excuse me. There are two bugs coming up once I get off of here, off of these platforms. I'm actually not going to even bother killing them. It's actually faster to kill them later. So I'm going to be running just right past them and into this room. Now comes a glitch. a very, very important one, possibly one of the biggest glitches in this game. This is called Early Master Sword. So basically, I'm going to be luring this guy to a specific spot on this wall. I usually stand, like, you see this little, like, brown spot that's right there? I stand right there. Basically, like, first you lure this guy over to this side, and then you stand over in this position, and then you need to do a B attack, or a B charge, and release it at a specific time right there. It's a little bit finicky, it's a little bit precise, but basically what you need to do is you need to move to the side while he's starting to do an attack, and then release it when his hand is about at the top of his attack, and then if you did it right, you will launch yourself up here and out of bounds. I'm actually not in an area, like I'm standing on ground that you're not supposed to be able to stand on right now. Now, just like with Sword and Shield Skip, I will also link a description, or link in the description to a tutorial for this trick, or a tutorial or two or something, because this trick, there's a lot more to it than what I just said, but it's, like, again, I don't want to spend the entire episode talking about it, because I could. There's a lot of different variations of the glitch and everything, but yeah. The only other important thing to note about the glitch is that the Shadow Beast has 2 or 3, or maybe even... yeah, I think it's 3 or 4 attacks that he can do, and you can only really get this jump out of bounds with one of them, with one of the attacks. So it is a little bit luck-based as well. But anyways, now that's over with, you might be wondering why this trick is called Early Master Sword. Because all that did was get us out of bounds. Well, if you know anything about this game, or about, like, the plot of this game, if I come this way, and then right about here, if I do a dash jump off, I will land on a platform here. Where is this? Well, if you look... actually, wait, I need to do this Howling Stone first, but this is the Lost Woods, where you get the Master Sword. Hold on, I actually forget what the song is for this one. Okay, it's the Prelude of Light. If I even remember... okay, yeah, it does go like that. But yeah, that is the entrance to the Lost Woods. So basically... we just skipped 3 dungeons. You're not supposed to be able to get the Master Sword until after you've beaten... actually, after Midna's Desperate Hour, which is immediately after Lakebed Temple, which is the 3rd dungeon. But yeah, by doing that jump out of bounds with the Shadow Beast, you can get to this point extremely early on in the game, and it's really nice. And so with that, we are going to be getting the Master Sword. Now, I do want to mention something, though. Getting the Master Sword at this early on actually kind of breaks the game a little bit. I mean, that's probably not surprising, but, you know, it breaks the game a little bit. Basically, as soon as you get the Master Sword, certain areas in the world change a little bit. There are certain, like, not triggers, but, like, certain rooms will change states, and so... there's one room in particular that I'll get into quite a while from now. It actually won't show up for a little while, but there's one room in particular that actually really breaks this, or that is really broken by this, by doing Early Master Sword. It's like you can't progress in the room by doing it unless you have done a certain, like, there is a way past it, obviously, because I'm going to be doing Early Master Sword, but, like, it's a little... I'll get to it when I get to it in, like, I don't know, 10, 20 episodes. I don't know how long it's going to take. But yeah, it does, Early Master Sword, as beneficial as it is, it does come with a few consequences. And I will get it more into those when those consequences actually show up. So yeah, but for now, let's just enjoy this glitch, or this, the fact that we can get into Sacred Grove really early. So yeah, now, basically, we need to just progress normally here. There's nothing we can do to skip this instance of fighting Skull Kid. And yeah, it's a little bit of a shame, because it's not the most interesting, but yeah, we just need to go and hit the Skull Kid a few times. There are... I mean, it's the same path every single time, so it's not like it's hard or anything, but yeah, it's not the most fun thing in the world, honestly. But it's cool that you can even just get here this early. I really like that. But anyways, okay, I was completely forgetting where I needed to go for a second. It also doesn't help that there are those enemies kind of following you all the time. They do hit you occasionally, and it's actually really stressful being in this area when you're at like a quarter heart or something, because if these guys hit you, they will kill you then, and that's not a good thing. Like, it's a really bad thing. Anyways, one thing I want to mention right here is if you do a B attack on this guy when you're really close to him, you'll fall off. Hold on. Okay, let me try that again. If you B attack him while you're really close to him, actually he moved because I went really close to him, but when he's in his normal position, if you B attack him and actually attack him, when you're like really close to him, you'll actually fall off the ledge, like fall off the platform. Like as you can see right here, I'm actually grabbing onto the ledge. If you did it in a bit of a different way, you can actually like fall off and be on this ground when that cutscene ends, and it just saves a little bit of time, and it's a bit of an interesting thing. Probably the only interesting thing about fighting the guy here in the Lost Woods. Now, in this last little phase, you have to hit him 3 times. The first time is completely free, but the second time he actually doesn't become invulnerable at all until after you've killed at least one of these guys. I don't even know what they're called, but you have to kill at least one of them, and then after a little bit, he'll start blowing his horn, and then that's when you can attack him again. If you try attacking him early, he'll just teleport away, and it's a wild goose chase, and it's annoying, and I don't like it, and yeah. But yeah, so that's basically what you want to do. Now, it's also a good idea in this area, in at least most categories, to try and get at least a few rupees during this segment, which I didn't get very many, but it doesn't really matter. Why am I at 13 rupees, actually? That doesn't make sense. Oh, right, because I got a few rupees from Talo and Malo. Or, not from Talo and Malo, from rescuing Talo. Anyways, yeah, so after that's done, we can finally go and enter this. We can just get into this area, and now we've got the Master Sword puzzle. This is a puzzle, like, when I've been streaming this game before, I've had a lot of people come in and say, like, this puzzle tortured them as a kid. Like, they just could not solve it, and I don't blame them. It is actually kind of a hard puzzle. Basically, the idea behind it is one of these guys is moving in the same direction as you, the other guy is moving in the opposite direction as you, and you need to lead them back to their original spots, which are those two spots right there that you can see. And, I mean, I'm doing the fastest solution right now. There are a number of solutions, but yeah, it is actually a pretty difficult puzzle, so I don't blame people for not being able to solve it, especially when they're younger, or even older. It's a hard puzzle. But anyways, actually, every single time you jump over, there is 1 or maybe 2 frames where you can actually hit the sense button, which I have done a couple times, right there. It does nothing, it just looks cool. But anyways, with that, we can run this way, and we can go and grab the Master Sword, and I will be skipping the cutscene because, as you can see, I can't skip the cutscene in the actual game, so yeah, I'll be skipping the cutscene with video editing magic. Alright, so now that the cutscene is done, that's actually basically going to be the end of the episode, but I do want to bring up one thing. I actually forgot to do something. As soon as I entered the Lost Woods after doing Early Master Sword, I was supposed to make another save. If you remember last episode, I made a save randomly. I was also supposed to make a save there, right? And I'll be using that save later, except I completely forgot to do that. Fortunately, at least in this case, I'm not, like, it's not the end of the world. I can cope with it. But that will be for another episode, so I'll have to remember to do that, though. I should actually write a note down for that. But anyways, yeah, so anyways, with that, that's the end of the episode. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, click that like button. If you didn't, fine, click the dislike button. Follow me on the links in the description, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Bye!